Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another HABS Daily News with your hockey coach, Juraj Slafkovsky. Today, episode number 154. What do you have with the menu, coach, today? I'm going to talk about who is hot and cold right now for the Montreal Canadiens since the beginning of the season. I'm going to talk about my solution for the power play for the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, I'm going to talk about Juraj Slafkovsky and NHL result game yesterday around the league. So don't go nowhere, and let's dive in about the first subject of the day. So the first subject of the day, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens, who is hot and who is cold since the beginning of the season. So the first one I want to talk about is the captain, Nick Suzuki. Suzuki at 4 points and 4 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. He continues to produce since he's been with the Montreal Canadiens and more under Martin Saint-Louis, an average of 1 point per game. You can see his friend when Suzuki is not in the lineup and what is in Montreal produce more on the offensive zone, defilé, and then Suzuki is, of course, a great duo with Cole Caulfield. So far, so good for Nick Suzuki since the beginning of the season. The second player I would say to you guys is Jake Allen, the goaltender at 32 years old, signed a contract extension a couple of weeks ago with the Montreal Canadiens. Since the beginning of the season, Jake Allen doing very well. Just give you an idea, he have a save percentage of .94. He stopped 49 of the 52 shot he faced. One they played 5 versus 5. Just give you an idea how is right now Jake Allen for the Montreal Canadiens. Just remember the first period again the Detroit Red Wings, he stopped all the 25 shot he faced against the Red Wings. For me, is my second player really good so far with the Montreal Canadiens. And then another player is a 28 years old Sean Monahan. We got him during a trade for us future consideration with a first round pick, and this is a great trade for Ken Hughes. And Monahan, honestly, with Suzuki are maybe the best forward for the Montreal Canadiens. And the reason why I would say an idea why. Monahan helped, first of all, the line with Suzuki Caulfield during his first game. He has right now 19 shots versus 12 they gave away, and they have right now a 61% advantage on the shot. So that's a really good what Monahan bring on the table. Then his face-off percentage, guys, since the beginning of the year is at 67%. And the shot attempt versus the shot again is at 63.5%. That's what Monahan bring on the table. Whatever it was with Kirby Dak line or now with the Cole Caulfield, that's what you get for Monahan. I'm really impressed from the player from the Flame. Let's talk about now who is not very good since the beginning of the season. And my first one I want to talk about, guys, is the power play. 1-13, and the only goal they did, it was a 4 versus 3 the last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They have 0-12. I think this is a really major problem. Special team, guys, is really important in NHL. If you have a great power play and a great PK, well, the PK Montreal is really good, over 85%. I think Montreal can add about 20% on the power play at some point. I think Montreal is going to get a little bit more W at the end of the year. That's something Montreal need to work better. They did not find yet the solution. They tried some different modification, but again, I'm going to give you a little bit what I'm thinking for the solution for the power play. My next subject after this one. The second thing I want to talk about, guys, is Josh Anderson. In my eyes, Josh struggle. I'll just give you an idea. We just talk about the percentage of Sean Monahan shot one is on the ice. Right now, Josh Anderson is only at 41%. One is on the ice with his line. High danger scoring is only at 29%, guys. So it's something Josh Anderson need to improve. It's something Josh Anderson need to get better if he want to help the Montreal Canadiens during the season. We know he have a big contract. He's not looking good since the beginning of the season for me, Josh Anderson. The next one, guys, is my last one, is Mike Hoffman. I understand people complaining about that enough at Drouin. I will give a chance for Drouin. I think Drouin just come back. He got a great assist the last game. And that enough, you can see for the last 2 games, is getting more chance. And I think he is helping his line he play with. But Mike Hoffman, guys, since the beginning of the season, we don't see him nowhere to find. He's really on the found and lost searching right now because Mike Hoffman don't contribute nowhere on the offensive zone, defensive zone, on the power play. You need Hoffman on the power play to get goal because that's one area is really good since the beginning of his career in NHL. And let's move on now, guys, for the next subject of the day. So my next subject of the day, guys, we always do the app news, every single app daily news. And my first one, guys, I want to talk about today is the power play. Montreal is 1-13 since the beginning of the season. I was just talking about this. One is a one area they are very cold since the beginning of the season. And then I'm going to give you a couple of information about this. Their stat guys send they are on power play. They attempt 85 shots only on the goaltender. They are 25th in NHL. The Florida Panthers guy shoot 153 times attempt. They are number one in NHL. So Montreal is half of what Florida is. That's something they need to get better. I will give you another information here. Is the Montreal Canadiens are 23rd and the high danger scoring shot. And they have to get better on this one. New York Rangers guy are 3 times more on the high danger scoring chance. They are number one, the New York Rangers. Now, what you have the solution, guys? I'll be honest with you, is Jordan Harris. Jordan Harris right now for the Montreal Canadiens is a number one shooting the puck the most on the net compared to Cole Caulfield and Brendan Gallagher. He have already shoot at 5 versus 5. He have 10 shots at 10 on the goaltender. He reached the goaltender. So for me, Jordan Harris, it could become the one Montreal Canadien. Martin said we should look to use him. And of course, why to use Chris Whiteman at the end of the day? Why to use Mike Hoffman at the end of the day? We saw the last game they used Caden Coley. But I think Caden Coley, the fact he played a lot of minutes for Montreal Canadiens and Harris played less minutes, I think it would be a great solution for the Montreal Canadiens. Use Jordan Harris. He's a great vision. He passed the puck very well. He did many times this situation with the Northeastern and NCAA. I think for me, at this point, I will use Jordan Harris on the point, on the power play, unit number 1 or unit number 2. And I think that would maybe make a difference right there. Otherwise, Montreal need to shoot the puck more on the net and not wait and wait and wait. Only 85 attempt, guys, it's not good enough. So that would be my request, guys, for my solution for the power play for the Montreal Canadiens. And let's move on now, guys, for the next subject of the day. So my next subject of the day, guys, is Juraj Slafkovsky. From Eric Angel from the Sportnet. He wrote an article to figure out what could happen for Slafkovsky in the next couple of weeks. First of all, we know so far Joel Armia is skating right now. He should be back in the lineup with the Montreal Canadiens. He had no time yet, but he's looking good. Because one, he's going to be ready to come back in the lineup. He's going to have an extra players. Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon will have to take a decision. Can they drop down Slafkovsky? Can they put Pesada or any other players on the waiver? That's something we have to figure out. But for me, and for what he said, Eric, he talked about possibility they put Slafkovsky and Laval. Now, Slafkovsky for the first time today at the practice, he has his full tape on his stick blade. We know since he played at a young age, he never had a blade of his stick with a full tape. He played like this forever. Since summer, many players for the Montreal Canadiens, he told him he should use all the tape on his stick. And finally, he decided to do it today at the practice. Second thing I want to talk about this guy is he had better game the last game, but not good enough. He still play north and south, and he need to get a little bit better. He go back now on the 4 line. I think Jack Evans, Mike Hoffman, and Uri have a good game against Pittsburgh overall as a 3 together. But is it good enough? This is my biggest question I would ask you guys. Possibility for me for the next couple of days or week, possibility Slafkovsky could become a healthy scratch to learn the game from the rafter, to watching what's going on the ice, to understand what the players are with or without the puck. If not, possibility they return in American Hockey League and it will be fine. It will not have no problem, guys, about this. Why? I will tell you one reason here. Uri versus Caden. Slafkovsky versus Coley. What look like right now Caden Coley for the Montreal Canadiens? He is now going to be 21 years old, Caden. For the last 2 years, he dominate the WHL as a defenseman, Coley. It looked like now he is with the Montreal. It's the same way with Uri, guys. He's only 18 years old. Imagine him right now in the next 2 years, how he can become. And that's what my point to you right now. It's not compare the player as one player is better to another one. It's what I want to bring to you is to be patient with him. He have to go through the process to learning to play hockey. It's not easy at 18 years old. Plus, he came from a place where the rink was bigger. They have more space on the ice. He struggled because of that situation over there. And I will give you a little bit where he need to improve during his game. His engagement. When we talk about his engagement, it's not about to try to hit everybody, but finish his check. That's one recommendation from Martin St. Louis. Second thing is decision. He need to be better decision he need to take. Sometimes it's too late. Sometimes he don't see the open space. Sometimes he need to put his head up and figure out what he need to do at the different circumstance. He did pretty good the last game. You see 2 times he did a great pass. That's what we're looking for. Do not be worried about his TOI. People say he play only 9 minutes, play only 10 minutes. But imagine if you get a 10-second on power play or 1 minute per game on power play. That will increasing his minute, and you can survive at 18 years old in NHL between 10 or 13 minutes per game. This is a new way it is in the NHL. People say, oh, he should play 15, 16. If not, he better to play American Hockey League. It's not this anymore. The team already cautioned with the players at 18 years old. It's okay for me if he can stay on the 4 line. I would not be surprised if he return in American Hockey League. But one thing you need to improve, Martin St. Louis talk about, is when you have no puck. He need to get better decision and figure out the open space. This is where he need to really need to improve. This area. Sometimes he stop. He's looking. He's not move his feet without the puck. He cannot read the play. He don't anticipate the play. And this is something you need to improve for the next couple of games. Finally, he played well since the beginning of the season. He have no point, no goal, no assist, but he's getting improved every single game. His last game against Pittsburgh, I believe it was his best game, and whatever he played on the 4 line. Why? Because now he play again the player a little bit more less talented. I think that helping him. My only suggestion, I would say possibility for the Montreal, whatever the power play does not work, why not to use him at 20 or 30 seconds sometimes during the game, just see what he look like and to see definitely if he should be on the power play. I don't think so. He will hurt Montreal Canadiens anyway at the end of the day. But my point today, guys, to talk about Juraj is possibility, and don't be surprised, at some point, Game 7, Game 9, Game 12, I don't know the timeline. But one thing I would not be shocked is the Montreal return at some point Slafkovsky for a couple of games, and possibly because Joel Armia is coming back in the lineup, why not send him to Laval for 1 week? For 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until they figure out what's the next move with Joel Armia, the extra players. Possibly someone get hurt in the team, go on the injury reserve, and then he can call back Juraj Slafkovsky. I just want to sharing this, my point today about Slafkovsky, what could happen to him the next couple of weeks with the Montreal Canadiens. Here we go, episode number 154 done. Hopefully you enjoy it, but before we leave, we want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe, sharing this video. Please, click on the like. And finally, leave me a comments about 154. And I want to remind you the next game for the Montreal Canadiens, Thursday night at home, they host the Arizona Coyotes. Thanks again. I wish you an amazing, great day. And of course, remember, you have greatness inside of you.